Hi guys, this is Rhonda with the Quiznos Training Department here in Denver. In this video I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step build for Event 2's Spicy Chipotle Pork Sub. This recipe is different from last year. We've removed the ham from the recipe and our pork specs have changed. So have a look as we build an 8-inch Spicy Chipotle Pork Sub on the recommended jalapeno cheddar bread. In every training video, we start with a reminder to wash our hands with soap and hot water for a minimum of 20 seconds. This time I'm going to switch things up a bit and I'm going to share some important hand hygiene statistics with you. Did you know that 1 in 10 people globally will get sick from a foodborne illness this year? And up to 50% of foodborne illnesses could be eliminated if proper hand washing procedures were followed. So this is why as food handlers we always wash our hands using soap and hot water for a minimum of 20 seconds. We want to eliminate foodborne illnesses associated with hand hygiene. When and how often should we wash our hands? Well, according to Quiznos Operations Manual, Chapter 10, we should always wash our hands before beginning work, before putting on gloves, when returning from the restroom, when returning from break, after smoking, eating, or chewing gum or tobacco, when leaving and then returning to our workstations, after coughing, sneezing, or using a tissue, after touching hair, face, or body, after touching clothing or aprons, after clearing tables or bussing dirty dishes, after handling trash, brooms, or mops, after handling any cleaning product, after handling money, after handling the phone, after handling or touching anything that may contaminate your hands. That's a lot of hand washing, but if we're serious about eliminating foodborne illness in our workplace, we'll take hand washing seriously. With that said, I've washed my hands with soap and hot water for 20 seconds and I'm ready to get to work. Let's look at the ingredients we'll need to build our 8-inch spicy chipotle pork sub. We'll need jalapeno cheddar bread, hinge cut to the 8-inch size, chipotle mayo, and Quiznos 4-pepper chili sauce in triple tip bottles. We'll need sauteed yellow onions, 0.8 of an ounce, tomatoes, 3 slices for an 8-inch. We'll need prepared pulled pork, 4 ounces, that is being held on the cooker warmer unit between 140 and 160 degrees. 2 slices cheddar cheese, as well as 0.8 of an ounce of bacon chips. And just as a side note, prep instructions for the pork are slightly different from last year. You can refer to the video entitled Pulled Pork Prep for complete instructions on preparing the pulled pork. Let's take a minute and talk about proper portioning when it comes to the pulled pork. When you portion with a spoodle, it's hard to determine an exact weight. Normally, as a guideline, 2 slightly rounded spoodles equal 4 ounces. But you'll need to practice a few times to get the meat weight right. So I recommend you weigh out 4 ounces on the scale to determine what that amount looks like in a spoodle. Personally, I would use either a deli sheet on the scale to practice weighing out the pork, or maybe clean 1/6 or 1/9 pans. I do not recommend using soup cups, as this will increase your restaurant's paper costs. So with that said, we have just a couple more ingredients to look at. From the wrap table, we'll need shredded lettuce, 1.5 ounce, and jalapenos, 8 slices. Okay, here we go. To our 8-inch jalapeno cheddar bread, we're going to add 1 pass chipotle mayo to the top and 1 pass Quiznos 4-pepper chili sauce to the bottom, end to end. Next comes 0.8 ounce sauteed onions to the top half of the bread. Spread evenly so that our guests get a taste of sauteed onions in every bite. And then we're going to add tomatoes, 3 slices for an 8-inch on the top half right over the sauteed onions. And next we'll add our prepared pulled pork, 4 ounces. That's being held on the cooker warmer unit between 140 and 160 degrees. And here's where the recipe differs from last year. We're no longer adding ham to the sub. We're increasing the amount of pork to 4 ounces and omitting the ham. and then cheddar cheese to the top, 2 slices for an 8-inch, and bacon, 0.8 of an ounce to the bottom half of the bread. Into the Turbo Chef oven it goes, and when it exits about a minute later, the wrapper will add shredded lettuce to the bottom, 1.5 ounces, and 8 jalapeno slices right over the shredded lettuce. We're preparing this sub for here, so we'll gently close the sub, cut it on the diagonal, and place it in the cube basket with 2 napkins. And that's it. Event to spicy chipotle pork sub. Please test your sub building knowledge by completing the following 7-question quiz. Question 1. 1 in how many people will suffer from a foodborne illness this year? A. 1 in 10, B. 1 in 20, C. 1 in 50, D. 1 in 100. Question 2. Recommended bread for the spicy chipotle pork sub is A. White bread, B. Wheat bread, C. Rosemary Parmesan bread, D. Jalapeno cheddar bread. Question 3. The correct amount of ham on a spicy chipotle pork sub is A. 0. Ham is not part of the recipe. B. 1 ounce, C. 1.5 ounces, D. 2 ounces. Question 4. There are 2 different sauces that come on the spicy chipotle pork sub. They are A. Mayo and barbecue sauce, B. Chipotle mayo and Quiznos 4-pepper chili sauce, C. Mustard and barbecue sauce, D. Chipotle mayo and barbecue sauce. Question 5. The correct amount of pork on an 8-inch spicy chipotle pork sub is A. 4 ounces, B. 5 ounces, C. 6 ounces, D. 8 ounces. Question 6. The correct amount of bacon chips on an 8-inch spicy chipotle pork sub is A. 0.5 ounce, B. 0.8 ounce, C. 1 ounce, D. Bacon chips do not come on the spicy chipotle pork sub. Question 7. If all food handlers practice proper hand washing procedures, foodborne illnesses could be reduced by as much as A. 20%, B. 30%, C. 40%, D. 50%. And this concludes our video on how to build the spicy chipotle pork sub. Thanks for watching and have a great day.